So in this video, we're going to be going over creating drop-down menus and lists using data validation. So as you can see, we have a section for our name, the location, and date. And in these gray boxes, we want to create lists with a drop-down menu. And to do that, we're going to use data validation. So first things that we have to do is go to our data tab on our ribbon. And then we're going to go under data tools, and depending on which Excel version you're using, it might look a little different. But go to the one that says data validation. It might have a little symbol like this over here, but then you can see data validation. So for name, we're going to click on that and then click data validation. And we're going to go to allow. Instead of any value, we're going to go to list. And then I could just type in the names that I want. So I just have to separate them with a comma. John, Paul, George, and Ringo. 4 famous members of the Beatles. Click OK, and now you can see we have this drop down menu where I could choose between any of their names. And all I had to do was type in their names and separate them with a comma. Now I could choose whichever one I want. Now we're going to show you another way to do it. So I have this location, and you can see in column H I have a list of all 50 states. So once again, we're going to go to data validation, and we're going to choose lists. But this time, instead of trying to type in every 50 state with a comma between, I'm just going to highlight these range of cells over here. So once I use that, put that in my source, these range of cells with all the 50 states, I'm just going to click OK. And now when I scroll up to location and click on this drop down menu, you see there all 50 states are in here. Because I'm just using the source. I'm just referencing these cells over here that had the 50 states already in there. And when you're doing this, you can only reference cells that are on the same sheet. So now I can choose any state I want. And this helps make your Excel sheet become more dynamic. People can start scrolling through, looking through it. And you might want to attach this to other things as well. But you can give them names, location, and lastly, we're going to go over the date. So once again, data validation, and this time instead of going to list, we're going to go with date, and instead of between, we're just going to go for greater than or equal to, and we're going to put the start of this year. And in this case, if you try to put anything that was before this year, Excel will pop up an error message, and it won't allow it to happen. So let's say we try to put in 12/31/2019. You can see this value doesn't match the data validation restrictions, so we won't be able to do that. And with the error message, we can also change what error message you get. So we can give it a title if we wanted to, not valid, and we could say must be from this year, and right now we're in 2020. So once again, if we were to try to type in any date before this year, you can see not valid, must be from this year. And we could type in whatever message we want. But that's how we can use data validation. We were able to create lists using referencing cells that are already on our sheet. And we also created a list just by typing in the names and separating with commas. So that's a great tool. Allows your Excel sheet to be a little bit more interactive.